Hi, the SI meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Friday, June 21st, the first full day of summer, and it'll be a very nice start to summer here in the Mid-Atlantic region with another comfortable day, low humidity values, and pleasantly warm afternoon temperatures in the low 80s throughout much of the Mid-Atlantic region. The heat and humidity gradually build up this weekend into the early part of next week, so that by Sunday, Monday, Tuesday time frame, high temperatures will be pretty close to 90 degrees in most of the I-95 locations in the Mid-Atlantic region. There could be an isolated shower or thunderstorm come Monday afternoon, and a little bit more likely perhaps by Tuesday and Wednesday. No major heat wave coming and no major rainfall coming over the next several days. And again, for today, a very comfortable way to begin this summer season. Well, let's take a look at the current surface map. Still have high pressure really dominating the scene across the northeastern quadrant of the country. High pressure both in southeastern Canada and sitting along the east coast. Generally clear skies here in the mid-Atlantic region. The real activity right now going on is up here in the Minnesota-Wisconsin area. There's a very strong band of showers and heavy thunderstorms, some severe thunderstorm activity headed right into southern part of Wisconsin. We'll take a look at the radar in a moment here, but that's real where the heaviest rainfall is right now. And again, totally dry here in the Mid-Atlantic region with plenty of sunshine, comfortable temperatures, and humidity values. Meanwhile, this continues to be hot and dry weather for the most part in the southern Rockies. Wildfires are certainly a risk, an ongoing risk, and that wildfire danger will be elevated over the next several days as hot, dry weather pattern continues in the southern Rockies. Meanwhile, along the west coast, a cool weekend coming with an onshore flow. Marine layer will thicken up as we approach the latter part of the weekend and the early part of next week. Could very well keep temperatures confined to the mid and upper 60s along the coast, the coastal regions in Southern California by the latter part of the weekend, early part of next week, with some possible drizzle and light showers as that marine layer thickens up by the latter part of the weekend. Well, speaking of wildfires, let's take a look again at the visible images from the end of the day yesterday. This is going into the evening hours last night, as you can really detect a couple of wildfires here in Colorado and New Mexico. Right here is a couple of different wildfires here. Again, you can see the smoke kind of moving off to the north and east. Here's another wildfire here, and some of this smoke is reaching the Denver area. There's certainly some smell of smoke in the air, and there will be areas of smoke over the next few days. Way down here, another wildfire right here, southwestern part of New Mexico, as a hot, dry weather pattern continues there, not only today, but for the next several days. Now here's the current infrared satellite imagery loop from the SSEC Wisconsin website. And one area really jumps out at you right here in the north central part of the country, the western Great Lakes. Minnesota and Wisconsin getting hit hard with a complex of thunderstorms. Again, some severe thunderstorm warnings right now, and all of this activity is moving into the southern part of Wisconsin. Let's now take a look at the current radar. And here's the radar for the western part of the Great Lakes, and from the Penn State eWall site. Very healthy looking line of thunderstorms across southern Minnesota. A little twirl right here is kind of a mesoscale low pressure system associated with it. All of that now headed towards southern Wisconsin. Severe thunderstorm warning throughout southern Wisconsin, and that will pretty much stay confined to the northern states over the next couple of days. It does not look like any of this will reach the Mid-Atlantic region anytime soon. Well, let's take a look at some computer forecast maps for the next few days. First of all, let's start off with the current 500 millibar analysis. And here is a change. We haven't seen this much this winter. Pretty much a strong high pressure now centered in the upper part of the atmosphere in the southeastern part of the U.S. This allows this entire region to experience hot and humid conditions, and indeed it'll get gradually warmer, more humid this weekend here in the Mid-Atlantic region. Now, right now in the northern peripheral area of this particular strong high pressure region, right here, this is kind of the ring of fire where there can be these mesoscale complexes of strong thunderstorms. Indeed, there is one going on right now across Minnesota and Wisconsin. For the most part, that activity will stay confined way up to the northern part of the northern tier of the country, from Minnesota to New England over the next several days. In the Mid-Atlantic region and points south and west, it should stay almost completely, if not completely, dry right through the upcoming weekend. Here's the 500 millibar forecast map for Sunday. By this time, that high pressure really just kind of spreads to the north and east a little bit. Again, hot and humid air, or very warm and humid air, will now extend all the way up into the Mid-Atlantic region thanks to this upper level high pressure ridge here. And again, there'll be a gradual increase here in the Philadelphia region, D.C., New York over the weekend, so that by Sunday and especially Monday and Tuesday, high temperatures will be at or slightly above 90 degrees in those locations, with an increase in humidity also noticeable by the end of the weekend. Well, let's focus in on some surface forecast maps by last night's Zero-Z GFS model run. Not much change going on. It's a very slow-moving weather pattern setting up here, kind of a typical summer-type weather pattern. And today, again, is the first full day of summer. This is the forecast map for tomorrow morning, Saturday morning. High pressure dominates here in the northeastern quadrant. High inland, as well as some high pressure reflected off the coast. Generally a southwesterly flow of air developing here throughout the lower part of the atmosphere, and again, that'll help to increase heat and humidity this week. And not a drastic change by Saturday, but more noticeable certainly by Sunday. And again, high temperatures will go from, let's say, the low to middle 80s today to near 90 degrees by Sunday and Monday. Still some heavy showers and thunderstorms confined to that ring of fire, the northern tier of states up across the north central part of the U.S., perhaps even into New England by the latter part of the weekend, whereas the Mid-Atlantic region stays relatively, if not completely dry, right through the upcoming weekend. One other note before we move on, let me remind you that the moon will reach full moon status by later this weekend, and it happens to be a super moon, and we posted a blog about that a couple of days ago. So the moon will be unusually bright and appear much bigger than normal during the latter part of the weekend. Here's the forecast map for Sunday morning. Still high pressure, in complete control. Maybe an isolated shower or thunderstorm late in the day on Sunday, but for the most part, dry weather pattern through the upcoming weekend with a gradual increase in heat and humidity. Again, the area with some potential showers and thunderstorms across the northern tier from Minnesota to New England. Now let's jump ahead to Monday morning. And here's the forecast map for later Monday. And by this time, we're getting a little bit more in the way of humidity buildup. So there'll be a little bit more in the way of pop-up afternoon and evening thunderstorms on Monday. And that same weather pattern, basically very warm and humid with some isolated pop-up showers and thunderstorms, will continue on Tuesday and Wednesday as well. There certainly are signs for an end to that, I don't know if I'll call it a heat wave, but a warm and humid pattern that will develop later this week and continue right through the first half of next week. There certainly is a sign of a strong trough into the northeastern part of the country at the end of next week, so a cool front is in sight. That's it for now. Enjoy the weekend, the first full weekend in the summer of 2013. I'm the SI meteorologist, Paul